our broadcasts. This morning, Chef Cristian is back with us to sort of go back to the basics, but with keeping in mind that there are certain tricks and factoids that can make all the difference in your cooking and actually make it a lot better. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kristen. How are you?
I'm good. All right, let's start with pasta. It's such a staple for many families.
That's right. And you know,
What's
I give
the trick here?
probably about, a couple of hundred cooking classes every year.
Right.
And this is something that comes up a lot because people really like Italian cuisine. So you're cooking pasta water, everything's going fine, and all of a sudden the pasta water just foams up. What do? So I'm actually going to simulate that here. I'm going to add a little bit of starch, so this is flour in this case,
and I know
to the water.
And I'm sure many people at home know exactly what you're talking about. You're on your way, you're cooking your pasta, and all of a sudden you look and there's a big thing of a big layer of foam on the top.
That's right, and that's actually caused by the starch coming to the bottom and creating this foam. So all you need to do to get rid of that, I didn't do a very good job of creating foam here, but let's just say there was some.
Yeah, we get the idea.
Okay, so all you do is put a little bit of oil. Now oil floats on top of the water, and that's actually going to collapse that foam.
Can you use any type of oil?
You can use any type of oil you want. All right, now it's good practice to start your pasta water with salt so that flavors the pasta, and then you put a little bit of oil in there to prevent that from happening in the first place.
To prevent the foam.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to garlic. I absolutely love garlic, but it is so hard. It's so hard to peel, and I've never bought one of those fancy peelers or anything like that, so I've always used my hands,
right.
And it's difficult.
It is, and well, it won't be after today.
All right,
but,
let's see.
Yeah, a lot of people use that jarred garlic or garlic powder, and that's never going to be as good, nearly as fresh garlic. Now, this is a really easy way to peel it, okay? So I have some garlic cloves right here. Okay, I have a metal coffee can, so I'm just going to put those in there.
And there's nothing in there.
No,
right? It's empty.
Just the garlic that I put in there. Then I'm going to shake it really vigorously for about 15 seconds, okay? And what you end up with here, see, I'm going to pour it out onto the cutting board.
Oh, my.
All the paper is separated.
That's crazy.
And all the, so here we go.
That's
so
like a magic trick, basically.
It is. It's a magic trick. It's a little cardio in the morning. Okay, but here you go. So I've peeled about, 10 or 12 of these in about 15 seconds.
How did that happen?
Well, it's the vibration actually separates the skin from the garlic cloves. Wow. It's actually how they do it in the garlic factory.
And it's literally, I mean, these are peeled, not just like little pieces. These are
they're totally peeled.
Cleanly peeled just from doing that.
So if you grab a big pot and you have like 100 of these, you just sit there and you shake them and you'll peel them. So
anything metal, is that what it is?
Metal or glass, something that's really hard. Okay.
I love that. Okay, let's move on to onions.
All right.
Right? There's an
actual way to go around an onion.
You mean you just don't willy-nilly?
Well, you can take your chances and hope for the best. Now, this little root here holds the onion together. Okay,
right.
So a lot of people cut this off as the first thing they do. Yeah. You want to keep that on so that it keeps the onion together.
You don't want to cut that off then?
No. So if you look right here, you can still see that the little butt, or the little root is on there. So let's call this the south pole. Okay. Now we're going to cut off the north pole. We're going to put it down on the north pole, cut it into 2 hemispheres. Okay, so right here it's really easy to peel.
And does this apply to any type of onion? Are these Spanish onions?
Yeah, this is just regular yellow onions.
So any onion. Okay.
So now I'm sitting here, I'm peeling them. This goes a lot faster when you have bigger onions, actually. Okay. Now notice that the onion has natural lines through it.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do, this is for diced onions.
Okay.
I'm going to score it along those lines. Okay. And then I'm going to cut across. And then that is going to give me diced onions.
Right, okay.
Okay.
That's the way I usually go. Not as pretty as the way you do it, but.
Now these butts, onions are cheap. You can throw them out. Let's say in this example you want julienne. Julienne means little sticks.
Little sticks, okay.
So you cut the butt off, or the root. Okay, so now the layers are loose, and you cut along those lines. And what you're going to get is little sticks.
Those are like the longer.
Yeah. These are like
onions.
Good for sauteed onions, for steaks and things like that.
Ah, okay. Like onions and peppers and stuff like that. Okay.
And then finally, let's say you want rings. So what I've done here is I've peeled it, I've cut the north pole off.
Yeah.
And you're just going to cut rings. Okay, and these are going to break up into rings.
Onion rings for the kids, right?
Yep.
Those would be yummy.
Now, the reason I'm crying is because these have a lot of sulfur.
Okay,
and when you mix sulfur with salt, you get kind of a little sulfuric acid happening. So the more your eyes, squirt out these salty tears, and that mixes with the onions, so you're creating a little bit of sulfuric acid on your eyes.
Just so you know.
That's right. The best way to prevent that is to keep your onions really nice and cold and use a really sharp knife so that you're cutting through the onion cells instead of bursting them, which is what happens when you use a dull knife.
No, keep them cold like in the fridge?
Yeah.
I never keep mine in there.
Well, you can start.
All right. Okay, well, thank you so much. And real quick, where can we find your recipes as well as your tips and information on your classes?
You can go to my website at tampabaychef.com.
Very good. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome.
This is great information. We'll be right back.
Anderson Live with Honey Boo Boo and her mom on their controversial show. Plus, his first co-host, Kristen Chenoweth, Anderson Live.
Monday at 1 on Fox 13.
You want family dinner to be special.
Dad, we want pizza.
You guys said tacos.
It doesn't always work out that way.
You know what? We're spending too much money on eating out anyway. Honey, come look at this.
My Money Map from Wells Fargo is a free online tool that helps you track your spending. So instead of having to deal with a tight budget, you could have a tighter family. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
I'm an independent. I voted for him. I contributed to him. Governor Romney promised that he would bring jobs to this state. By the time Governor Romney left office, we had fallen to 47th in the nation in terms of job growth. Governor Romney cares about big business. He cares about tax cuts for wealthy people. And I certainly do not believe that he cares about my hardworking employees. I feel like I was duped by Mitt Romney. I'm going to vote for President Obama.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
With ultra-filtered water from the first hands-free system and microclimate controls powered by Twin Chill technology, the new GE French door refrigerator puts fresh in a whole new light. Come see the new GE French door refrigerator for yourself at Famous Tate. Buy now and save up to $500. But hurry, this incredible offer ends October 10th. Come in today or visit online at FamousTate.com.
The fastest selling cane on national television is the cane that stands alone. The Hurricane.
I love it. When I go shopping,